My man. Living a dream, man. I can't complain.
Shit, it's a beautiful one, man. I'm trying to be continued, you hear?
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Sound like you being quite productive out there.
Oh, man, that's what I do, story of my life. So, I mean, that's 25-8. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Get that DMD, you know what I mean? Each time.
Yeah, you went there. We got the one and only Young Bleed. If you don't know Young Bleed, I don't know what you're doing. We got Young Bleed. We got How You Do That there in the house. Talk about it, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate the love, man. Respect, man. It's a big thing. Happy to be here. Long time coming and long time in it, man. So, yeah, much love.
That's the business, man. So I tell you what, I want to start right from the beginning with you, man. How did you even get into rapping at all? Period.
I'll tell everybody this. I wasn't born this way, man. You know, I'm a 70s into the 80s, baby. I'm born in 74. You know what I mean? God bless life, God bless the game. Say the same. I'll be 45 June 6 next month, man. You know what I mean? So my whole life evolution from the start, you know, music was in my family. Everybody was talented. Later on in life, for the world knowing me, I'll be the one that incorporated. So it's all, you know, it's a God bless mission, man, from my granddaddy to my grandmother to my mother and my aunties and uncles. Everybody either sung at church or played some form of instrument, you know, that type of thing, you know, from the blues, the gospel, and all that. So as I was evolving into those 80s, rap was evolving. So by 82, 83, I got my glitch, you know, and I heard a whole lot of rappers, old school rappers, man, coming off that East Coast, man. A lot of Marley Moore and C. Shan, Juice Group rappers way in the beginning. I had a cousin who used to go to New York and get and record Kiss FM with rest in peace to Mr. Magic. Shouts out to DJ Red Alert and Marley Moore and Brains, everything that was up there. You know, I'd be one of the first guys in the South to have the first Eric B as president and so on and so forth. So I was learning that evolution on, you know. And before that, you know, my first hip-hop tape was on subtitled Run DMC record. Actually, I took a song off of that record called Wake Up. And we had the opportunity of having a poetry teacher that came to our elementary school for at least an hour a day, once a week, and taught us different, you know, elements and formats for writing poetry while that was taking place. So, she taught us like haiku poems and different things like that. So I love to write, you know, real simple poem, 3 lines, get in, get out. But at the same time, you know, getting that Run DMC tape somebody, I forget, you know, what the structure, where it came from, but, you know, she gave us an opportunity to write a poem and put into this citywide poetry book, you know, from all the elementary schools that was going to our state's capital. Building out here at the time. So I redid kind of remade or reformatted the Wake Up song from Run DMC and kind of made it my own in my world and described what I was coming from and what was around me at about 8, 9 years old. And that book made it to the state capitol. And I had a poem in it, so I felt like that was a major accomplishment for me as a 9-year-old child.
Hell yeah.
You know, along with all that was my gumbo pot, you know, and I just, you know, that was my glitch. I've been playing the drums and different instruments, of course, with my family since a kid, but when that happened, it was like, this is it, it's my thing, and I've been doing that since then, since 1983 to right now, you know what I mean?
You know what, I like an answer like that, man, because, you know, it's a lot of people that just picked it up. When it ain't nothing wrong with that, but it's some people that just was like, you know, one day I just start rapping, and they don't have their history, or they not really into it, because, you know, I'm from the South, I'm from Mississippi, but I still appreciate Biz Markie, Slick Rick, Run DMC, and all that. You know what I'm saying?
If it wasn't no them, it wouldn't be no us. You know what I mean? I mean, I give credit to New York as being the mecca of hip hop. You know, other than what they got off the 2 turntables and brought back from Jamaica, if you know the rules and you know, the line up to the game, you know, the whole thing, you know, where that's concerned. But yeah, if you know that, like I said, I grew right with it. So I was educated in different ways, you know, beyond what you're able to do now, social media, get a little bit more up close and personal with your favorite artists. We couldn't talk to LL Cool J or Houdini and so on and so forth. Nowadays, you know what I mean? Shouts out to Houdini. I'm friends with Jaleel, Grandmaster D, and Ecstasy, you know what I mean? Dr. Ice and UTFO, because I done had the privilege of being backstage or going to their shows and lived in Virginia for about a year. So, you know, I had, you know, throughout my career, I'm kind of skipping the tape. But I wouldn't guess I'm still a fan to the game and a student to the game for that matter, and a fan to the music. So, you know, as old as I get, to see those guys still out here, man, that I looked up to when I was a kid like that, and broke my neck to go to the concerts and stuff like this here, you know what I mean, when I was, you know, was that young, to stand with them side by side and have a conversation with them, man, it's still a dream come true for me too. So, you know, I'm kind of in a middle world to where, you know, I'm in that world, and then, you know, I have fans now, and it's a whole lineage that's coming after me, or that came after me and still evolving. So, yeah, that's a God blessing, man, all the way around. But, yeah, shouts out to New York. We're setting that off, you know, on into the West Coast. You know what I mean? Down south, we went to Midwest, and, you know, up north, Chicago, Detroit, you name it. So, you know, and, you know, I'm actually working on a record with a friend of mine named KD the Stranger in the UK right now, you know, Ukraine. Hip-hop, yeah, when you look at what's ultimately a universal language and music, so that brings people together in so many forms. So I've been watching the game so long to recognize God in it, you know what I mean?
That's quite an expansion there. Before I get to that, I'm gonna kind of go through your whole timeline. So tell me this, like, you told me about the haiku and everything, and once that got published, at what point did it kind of transfer over into rapping, and what point did you begin to take it serious?
Well, let me take it back a little bit too, man. Rakim said it the best, RAP is rhythm and poetry. I go back and give love, respect, and credit to my mother always. My mother was a lady that sacrificed her life for me the day I was born. She was 17 years old, and she had the dilemma of her surviving her pregnancy and me, you know, coming into the world, me being sabotaged in that sense, and she continuing with her life. My mama said she had lived enough at 17 if it came down to her baby, that she, you know, she'd rather me live, and she'll, you know, take the death in that sense. Because fit that she survived that, you know, went on to have another child. My brother, the world knows the numbers of the concentration camp. But, yeah, you know, he had, you know, it was a complicated thing. You know, he was born in a Philippian tube and that type of thing, you know what I mean? So after that, my mother couldn't have no more kids. But saying it to say this, she would teach me Dr. Seuss, you know what I mean? She said she used to read different things to me while I was still inside. So by the time I was 8 months, I could read Dr. Seuss. So, when you're talking rhythm and poetry, you know, my uncle was a drummer. He played all African eccentric instruments, from the African piano to the oboe and the congas and bongos. So by the time I was a kid, that was my toys at Christmas time. You know what I mean? The congas, and you know what I mean? Well, you know, had the baby bongos, and you know, he had the congas, so he had put me on his lap and teach me those, you know, African rudiments. Then he played a live set. So by the time I was 4 to 5 years old, my godfather, rest in peace, had bought me a drum set, not knowing what my mother was buying me for Christmas, and I had 2 drum sets. So I've been on those instruments. So when you saying rhythm and poetry, as my mother was teaching me poetry, I was learning the rudiments to, you know, the drums, you know, we call jungle drums, man. So I really, real life like that. My uncle walked out shikis and had Jazz Verdi went from American name to, you know what I mean, the Holy Quran and, you know, the whole Muslim stretch and all that. So all that was embedded. So, you know, I got education in different ways. So by the time, like I say, I, you know, catch my glitch in 83, I had all those rudiments. So, you know, it's gumbo back to me, man.
Cool. So we fast forward that. At what point, like, how did you get from there? Because it looked like, it sounds from what it sounded like to me, that this was a whole, like, you dedicated your life to this. So at what point did you get connected with P, and how did that happen?
Okay, later on, and we going back that far, you can see my spiritual and physical development. And again, I want to say it. Shouts out to my dad, man. You know, my stepdad. You know, he in the street in America. But the thing with him, he had put me on the CB, the walkie-talkie system, real young, so before the microphone. Yeah, so, his handle was a long range and I was his tonto, you know what I mean? So he could call me anywhere in the country ever since I was a kid. You don't know what you're being shaped and molded to, so, and what you're learning. So later on, let's say 10, 12 or so, if I was 9, I started working with P at probably about 20, 21 years old. You see what I'm saying? So, I had already sold tapes on the corner. A record on the radio out here, young and Baton Rouge, and old school here and radio partners. So we was evolving. CeeLo, with CeeLo Brothers at the time, and Master P was on board. They were doing some work together between our camps, the concentration camp, and No Limit. So we started to make different records and that evolution of us making those first self-titled concentration camp album. Was the first time with CeeLo Brothers that everybody branched off versus being just a CeeLo affiliate and featuring on the record, on his solo album. This was the first family record that we did. Everybody got a chance to do their own thing. So that was my first solo shot from under that particular umbrella, which was how you do that song that I originally titled A Fool. When I made it, I said, man, when people hear this, they're going to say, that's a fool. I said, that's what I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
That's really what it was called, but the hook was more famous than the title, and by the time Pete got wind of it, and it was printed, the world took it and ran with it and still running with it to this day. That's probably the most duplicated up, fitting and taken from hip-hop song of all time. They still duplicate that song, So, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I heard that sample plenty times. Especially that whistle sound from it. I've heard that a lot in a lot of different places. Tell me this though. So when you made that record, because I've heard cases when somebody they make a track, and after they make the track, they may not particularly like the song, and then it take off. When you heard it, did you know that was, like you said, that's the one, or did you was like, oh, we gonna see?
I knew that, I really, shouts out to Happy Perez. I really, produced or rather co-produced the record where, I come out the crates as well. I had turntables since I was like 11, 12, Having started recording in the studio at 11, years old. So the way I formulated that track, it was like mixing, I mixed really Parliament with some Public Enemy. Public Enemy with some Aretha Franklin, some Earth, Wind and Fire. People don't know the elements to that record and the two different drum layouts with an indication of King T. Shouts out to the West Coast and Compton. One of the original Compton OGs, King T, with the Act a Fool album. So when you hear me saying I'm finna act a fool every time, shouts out to the OG King T out there, man. So
play like a piano.
Yeah, But the record right before that album was the Act a Fool album with the Sawing Off and the Great Cat and the Lack with the original Dayton.
Yeah.
I was in it like that, man. I love the album cover, with the minimizing the CDs, but I love to read the credits. I'm, old school like that. So I had DJ partners in the neighborhood through the alleyway, the Wheel Swap records, I steal my Pops records and all that kind of shit. So if I had like breakbeat records and shit just with drums on them and different things like that. So I can mix that type of format in my back room. I live kind of like GQ Juice down here, but in the South, in the Brooklyn Bronx way. We walk up the street, we go in each other's house. The neighbors looking, don't know what we up to. We don't know we got different equipment like aliens, that we swap reverb ever since a kid. I had those kind of partners and still to this day. So making a format like that, I knew how to lay my template and how I wanted to rap on it. So I did, different things before I even introduced it to Happen. We laid down together. It's an apartment out here, man, with no, I remember this shit like yesterday. No furniture in the apartment. We didn't have a keyboard stand, but we had like an ASR 10 or something like that. That was ASR 10 or Insonic 16 Plus. Either one of those. We laid it on the floor, and I laid the drums to set the tempo. And I was trying to describe them. Those cats with at least 5 years or better younger than me. Lay low, Max Manelli, shouts out to Jake Vaughn. They was the group in the field, the homies that was around us, DJ Barley and, Savage Sosa from out this way was cousin with Manelli, so we all used to be together all the time, just, working, doing whatever. But long story short, I was describing to them the Parliament album on the Motor Booty Affair with the big bird on the cover, the cartoon cover, and they were younger than me, so they ain't know exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, DJ Yellow from NWA, man, I can play the drum. I said, man, I can make a hit record, man. This before this record was birthed. We in an all but empty apartment. You know what I mean? I said, okay, look, somebody take $20 and go to the record store and go buy the CD. This before the internet, so we couldn't pull the record up and everything now. You know what I mean? You don't need crates, all Serato and all that type of thing, which is a good thing. We evolving. But at the same token, you imagine just formulating and really stitching Frankenstein together, stitch for stitch. So, somebody had $20 and, sent out to go to the record store and they bought their Parliament record back. And they didn't really have a place to sample because at the time we were still sampling, not knowing the rules and you know what I mean. I had a breakdown you couldn't do. We was just in the music evolution. If it sounded good, we put it down. So, we got that record and I let Happy hear that bass line. And he matched the bass line for all the instrument and he played it, the world famous whistle on top of it. And the rest was cosmic, you know what I mean, to this day. So that's really the evolution of that. I ran the rhyme scheme, we put, lit the dice game, so on. We go to my original version on YouTube, that's called The Fool, Young Bleed the Fool, for the world that don't know. Outside of the southern region, by the time it came #1 in the South, and shouts out to my guy, Jules Jackson, that I come up with, man, that was one of the first DJs when we opened a new radio station out the Q106. WXOK was our AM and FM station, and we started a new station with birth. Right around that time, called 94.1 is the #1 station on history to the day in Baton Rouge. But based on that song was evolving, Jules was my man ever since I was a kid. So, I was able to give him that record, and he played it, and it became #1 at Baton Rouge. It just started to take off all over the South, not just here, from here to Atlanta to where you from, Mississippi, so the whole southern region in particular. So while it was Bubble and Pete was doing the Body soundtrack, all that was stuck in the same, day-to-day limits, you know what I mean? So, everything was perfect time, perfect art. So, of course, when Local, of course, had to get it to him, he liked it, and I got the offer to do a remix to it. And then on the chance of getting a record deal with all the records out there in Southern California, man. So, yeah, so that's how they evolved, man. Rest in peace to Big. 3 months after the passing of Notorious Big, I was signing right around the corner for all the records on Sunset Boulevard, man. The rest is history. Big.
So man, tell me this, because I think this is something that's not clear to a lot of people. Were you associated with No Limit, or you were signed to No Limit?
Pete was the big bro, you know what I mean? He was the connection to it. So really, officially, I never signed to No Limit officially. Pete got me my deal at Priority Records.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, so I was the Ice Cube of the South. I left straight from the concentration camp on the strength of Pete and signed directly to Priority Records and remained at Priority recording artist till about 2001, 2002. I was actually working on my third record. Had a 7-year contract over the 7-album contract, more or less. And within the recording of my third record, they had their great fold, you know what I mean? And the records haven't been the same, but I don't even think they exist as a company anymore nowadays. But that's when they merged with Apple, and that whole shebang took place. And I come back independent, you know what I mean, since then.
Okay. And that's what I figured, and I think Priority has dissolved since then. Who was the, when did you have a fan moment? Because I know you probably were seeing a lot of people, but did you ever have a fan moment that you were, working with somebody and you was like, yo, I can't believe I'm working with this person? Did you ever have that moment? And who was it?
Well, it'll start here for me. Everybody don't know the evolution of New Orleans. Shouts out to Gregory D. Rest in peace for the T. Guys like Manny Fresh since the 80s, you know what I mean? I always looked up to those guys and later become friends and family and all that type of thing. But just for us, I was just, the first guys that we, when we was hoping that, we'll be taken, seriously and accepted in the game from Louisiana. The first guys come out of Louisiana in a major way. Shouts out to the Ninja Crew is what Manny Fresh come from, Gregory D and Sport T. Then after that, I think they went to Trigger Man is the song that kind of like, I want to say, been out in the 80s or something. They've been back on it. I'm still not on. I got to look up the origin of Bump Scan Can and those guys. We've been playing that record since I was in elementary school.
Wow.
I'm saying that the shit is, shots out and rest in peace to my guy, good friend, and true dear brother to me, I used to look up to a lot. Was Tim Smooth out here. Tim Smooth signed with Rap a Lot, the first guy to come from Louisiana that I know of that signed to Rap a Lot, you know what I mean? When the Ghetto Boys and everything was up and running, Jay had it cracking, and for us the South, you know what I mean? And for us getting credit and accepted in the worldwide way, he picked up a guy like Tim Smooth, and I think Tim either put out a compilation over there, not a compilation, maybe an album on EP, but he definitely had a hit EP that was down here called I Got to Have It. Everybody loved Tim Smooth. Tim Smooth was like Louisiana's first mystical, and if you YouTube mystical on Soul Train back in the Gap when he got the Michael Jordan suit on, the guy that's on stage with him, that's Tim Smooth, you know what I mean? Tim was the first man, he's a real player, pimping gangster, super fly. When he came through here, man, Southern University, all the girls or whatever, I'm talking about like Son of Our Months with 3 trailing behind you, yeah. That first guy, mystical, but become like, to me, he was like, a lot of guys didn't get a chance to check out G Slim along, when Soul Slim called himself Magnolia Slim. I knew G Slim too. All those, those guys was in the same camp. And, rest in peace to G Slim, who was murdered in the streets, out here somewhere in New Orleans or whatever, but he was a real street guy. So I remember those guys just going 45 minutes down the street, and they was on before us. So I looked up to them, you know what I mean, as well as Big Mike eventually going, and rest in peace to 3-2, the convicts coming out of Louisiana, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mike
yeah.
And out of New Orleans. And 3-2 being out of Opelousas. A lot of people didn't know that Pimp C was from probably Louisiana. So it's a lot of talent in Louisiana that people, minus the tabloids, don't really know the roots to. So those are my guys before I would evolve. Of course, I was looking up to New York, but it was a long way from home. I've been trying to go to New York all my life, and that's the one place I lived in pretty much 41 states around the country and still ain't got to New York, man. So that's how crazy it is. So it was like a reverse clock for me when everybody thought I was more hip-hop than everybody out here, and I'd be taken, into the East Coast. It was the totally opposite. I went to the West Coast, all the way to Priority Records, same birthplace of, for us, NWA owned Worldwide Records with Priority Records. The movie straight out of Compton. Brian Turner was my boss as well. By the time I come in at the end of that, NWA started Family Tree, and of course, No Limit, and, Mac 10, everybody, you name them, Rise Guys, you know what I mean? I had an infinite list of partners and been so blessed in the game to have a person that connects. But if I start going down the list, you know what I mean, you wouldn't believe. So from the East Coast to the West Coast, I'm still the same, humble student to the game. I had the honor of meeting Dr. Fresh, and I told him, I said, man, y'all like the wall of Abydos to us, you know what I mean? If you know about Egypt and the walls of Pharaoh, so far as, when they talking God MC and what was way over all years ago, they call us country dumb down here in the South. But now you hear these boys saying country God and all that, so, word born, knowledge born, so like I said, I recognize the God overall in the game. And when that could create unity in the community and we could talk in a language that we all understand, yeah, you gotta recognize that.
Okay. Heck yeah. Yeah, I respect that, man. Just to switch the tempo up a little bit, because I think we, you're a little older than me, but I had this problem myself. I'm 33, and it was hard for me to evolve with, the way music has changed. What do you listen to nowadays? I know, of course, we both still appreciate the OGs, but is it something, do you like where music is going, or are you kind of like, eh?
I'm a guy, I'm a Gemini, like I said, I'm born the day before Prince on D-Day, you know what I mean? On D-Day, when I'm saying D-Day, for the world to know that's World War II.
Yep.
But they shut down World War II. My granddad was named James Donner Goodbleed Johnson Sr. So my whole bleed evolution is from a war veteran that raised me, you know what I mean, till he went blind, and really a real live blind Ray Charles that played the piano and had a partner named Harmonica Mode. that, you know, my grandmother used to get together on Fridays and fish fry and card games, and that was going on in the house. He made me play the blues so much for him so much I couldn't stand the blues as a kid, you know. I'm a blues baby. You can't miss me from Robert Johnson, the Sound House, the Muddy Waters. You know what I'm saying? I'm right there from Mississippi. A lot of people don't know that evolution. Led Belly being the first blues recording that sung it on the penitentiary, you know what I mean? Between Louisiana and Texas. Had two bodies on the gun, you know what I mean? So, you know, when you're talking that, you know, it's the same thing when they on Hustle and Flow from Backdoor Man to Back That Ass Up, Howlin' Wolf, you know what I mean? So, you can't miss me. But yeah, man, it's just so much on the mind. Try to stay on what you asked me exactly, so I don't lose that.
Now, I'm just trying to see, what do you listen to as far as any newer music? Or do you not listen to it at all?
I'm timeless, man. I dig a lot of Wiz Khalifa shit. Rest in peace to Nip Hussle. Yo, Nip, man, I hate that shit that happened to Nip.
Man.
I was watching his evolution. I was loving how it was going down from him, so taking from us that fast in that show, man. Kind of, you know what I mean? That's some other shit. But Nip, you know, of course, wearing them out here. I'm doing some work with the Super Unit. His brother shouts out to Derrick Johnson, you know what I mean? The Super Unit. My son in particular, man, he on his way hip-hop and R&B. I dropped my solo album, What a Life, next month. You know, you get a debut of him dropping out to me, but he's starting to bubble up around the town. A lot of boys, you know, I'm back home. I haven't been out here for about 6-7 years and been in and out, you know, about the last year and a half, just coming all the way back home. So I always start with my roots up. I tell people this, man, you can't go nowhere without your foot, man. Don't forget your feet, don't forget your ground, don't forget your roots. So from the soil out, you know, it can break down in sections for me. Because like I said, I had a chance to rock with a whole lot of underground legends and super dope people that I'm trying to help birth and rebirth on wax for the world to know. You know, boys dying and going to jail out here, all that kind of shit. Rest in peace to the Pimp. You know, we had plans. You know, Pimp was my guy, you know, a little bit more and deeper than what people know because we don't have records together. The only record we got that's publicized is On the Balls of My Word record. And it's indirectly how I got it. Shouts out to Master P. It's Bring the Noise. It's a Pimp C production without him rapping on it. So just when we were getting ready to do those type of things and he had come back home, I knew Pimp Photo again, you know what I mean? And back home, you know, shouts out to Pimp and Candy put us back together again. You know what I mean? So shouts out to Pimp, man. We had a whole lot of plans to let you know. I'll give you a quick story. I met Soulja Slim one night. And shook hands, hugged him, and we talked about doing the record. I never saw him again in life. Next time he was supposed to be the third person I smoke, I drank. Before Magic would wake up, we could wake up the next morning, he could drive from Baton Rouge to New Orleans, Slim was dead. So I didn't like this shit, you know. Yeah, that's how fast, you know what I mean? You know, it's real out here. So like I say, you know, boys doing what they gotta do to survive, and you know, we all in the struggle, you know what I mean? Whether independent or major. You know what I mean? It's always money. You ain't never too old to get no money. So these young boys, you know what I mean? The difference between us and the rock boys, you know, you can shoot hell wrong, dope in your arm and everything else. You know, however condition that you know, you put yourself in, however, you know what I mean? They're going to retire to the Hollywood or whatever rock and roll Hall of Fame. And nothing against them. I'm a rock, you know what I mean, fanatic, you know what I mean? That type of shit. So, you know, I ain't got a prejudice going in my mind. I love my own music. I listen to Mozart, you know what I mean, to Bach, to Beethoven, just, you know, in that element of sound. But when we, you know, we try to outlaw each other and say, okay, he's too old to be rapping, or he should can't wait till a person fall off. And we got that bad on the black hand side. And definitely in the hip hop community, instead of upping each other, we drag each other down. It's really kind of like an invisible fight for supremacy. You know, you want to overthrow the king. Instead of respecting the game, we used to respect the OGs. If it wasn't, like I say, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't know what we talking about. If you don't know where the fuck you come from, you don't know where the fuck you at, you damn sure don't know where the fuck you're going, and you can't tell me nothing. So that's the blind leading the blind. So I'm with the shit with the young cats. You know, I tell them I still got a young on my name. I'm the first one to spark the young generation. The only young rapper, young MC name before me with a young is Young MC in the 80s with Tone Loc, them and that Busta Move. Every young thing come after me, man, I keep the dough in. So I'm with you. I'm trying to be the bridge between that gap of young and old. But some of the young shit I like, some of the shit, the whole thing is this. Back in the gap, and not too long ago, and still not. we identified ourselves and we had our own. I tell them, put on a Rakim record, put on an LL record. They didn't have no music. They voice was the instrument, man. He could really rap. And it's corny, so if you can keep my attention, I put on a Too Short record that he was rapping 7 verses, 10, 11-minute song. You see what I'm saying? You had to really prove that. So now, you know, with the auto-tunes and a whole lot of shit, you know what I mean? I did some of it to a degree, but after 3 to 5, 10 artists, I don't know who's who.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That fuels me, and I'm a fan to the music. You see what I'm saying? So I ain't no hater and no way by far. So I'm gonna try to give you points, but I ain't supposed to give you points. Some guys say, hey man, you're too lenient. You know, because love is love. I respect a man's life before. You know what I mean? I say this. You know what I mean? Help before wealth. You know what I mean? All day. You gotta stay alive. The last time I did 2 years ago called living. I said, if you ain't living, you ain't doing nothing. You can have $100 million across the street from you. If you walk out and have a heart attack, guess what? It don't mean you shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So respect life first, respect God that gave life first, then all this when you in line. And so you can be in so much agreement with God sometimes, He in agreement with you. And when you're in unison with God, no weapons wrong, you know what I mean? You shall prosper. You know what I mean? And you know, your arms too short to prosper with God. So, you know, if you know that part of it, then you rest assured do what you're doing, and you're going to reach, your plateau for His people. But that's what it is. It's a lot of confusion and too much of this, that, and the other. And, the game, all the flexing, a whole lot of shit, man. I don't understand. Becoming a millionaire now, they want to go to war for nothing. And going to jail, these boys getting deported out the country, all this crazy shit. We get to all that point from eating peanut wieners and these bandos and all this kind of shit and get to the top of the shit. Anybody got to push off the motherfucker with the follow me, man.
I hear you, man. So before I wrap it up, this is a question that, and I think you might can answer this perfectly, actually, because I was in a conversation about this the other day. I was telling my girlfriend that I feel like some of the rappers that I love, I used to get mad when they retire. But at the same time, I finally got to the point where I just appreciate what they left, because some rappers, when they come back nowadays, it seems like they may feel the pressure to rap like how the other people are rapping now, because the pattern and the triplet flow, a lot of people rap differently, even though it came from way back. It dates back, but a lot of people are trying to rap like how they are rapping. But if you don't rap like that, sometimes it sounds dated. Like you may hear it and you be like, this sounds old. So it's hard to find a middle ground with that. Do you feel like any pressure, like, because of course you gonna rap how you gonna rap. You don't want to sound like Migos, or you don't want to sound like whoever's rapping like that. But then at the same time, you don't want to sound like, oh, when did this come out? 98. So how do you find that middle ground?
Well, for once, I look at it like this here. I'm a master monk that master all the styles. So picking from an infinite tree, I could do what I want to do. If I want to rap fast, I can rap fast. If I want to rap slow, I could do that without following no format and go back to evolution. But the thing is, what your aim is, who you trying, what you rapping for. Beyond rapping is prophecy. Fuck the messenger, get the message. So going back to God, I don't in particular rap for the radio, not in particular for the streets. They go back to God being like my granddaddy and making me play them blues. He wanted joy and, be joyous and have a good time. Like a band of angels or like a preacher in a church. The choir over there, usually call the Sabbath feast to aid the preacher. And the preacher got to rejoice with him. So God that preacher. So I aim at God as long as He pleased, and He going to bless what I put out, and the world going to accept it. That's how I was always accepted. I can't tell you I got 500,000 friends or 1 million friends to be gold and platinum to this day. I was about this soundtrack until I debut gold in 3 weeks. So living testimony. I got a higher aim. You know what I mean? God life, first, and then it trickle on down to the people. So I don't get caught up in that confusion and competition. They say at the end of life or however, somewhere down the line, your hardest competition is yourself.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, so it's mirror reflection, man. As long as you got the man in the mirror together, rest in peace to Michael Jackson, and you pleasing God, then the rest of the congregation gonna fall in line, or they out of line. It go back to the heavens and the devil being in charge of music. So it's, if you know For those that know, like the DOC say peace. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? But if you don't know, you missing half of what the story is. I don't know what the story is. And the devil controls the music in heaven. It was tear down. That's the confusion. If you know that, you know, like G.I. Joe say, knowing is how the battle. You can do something with. Yeah, so that's how I look at that, man. I'm above them. You know what I mean? I hover above them, man. It's just like the aliens. They want to land. But there's too much bullshit going down here. God might want to come down, but when he sent Jesus, y'all killed him, man. He ain't still on that bullshit. So until they figure that out, yeah, like you said and we said before we started the interview, find me in a quiet place, man. It's easy.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I think you actually gave a perfect answer, because that's what I was looking for. Because, like I said, that's a real hard path of, like, you don't want to come out sounding like everybody else, and then you don't want to say, oh my God, this is old or something. So I think that right there.
It's the thing, and I put y'all add to it. You know what I mean? The people need to know this. Sometimes I don't listen to the radio. I cut off everything and sit in the dark, and I wait from that signal from heaven. And that keep me original. Every time I write a rhyme, I mean, you can look at my whole catalog or wherever you done heard me at. I don't have no remixes, because I don't do the same rhyme twice. I've been writing for 34 years, man. And every time it's days I don't, I have my days to hell with this, you know what I mean? Whoop, whoop, whoop. You know, it go up and it go down. That's life. But at the end of the day, I realize this ain't something I chose. This is something that chose me. And it's a greater purpose. Like, shouts out to my guys, the prison is way bigger than hip-hop. So if you know it's prophecy, and you allow yourself to let go and let him use you as a vessel, it's an infinite pen, man. I don't know what I'm going to say again. I'm telling you, look, man, you going to sign the same piece of paper, release, copyrights, and publishing, just do that. Wipe my back. When I go in, I got to create a whole nother original sound, and the people got to love it for you, pay me for it, and everything else. And every time, I can say, when I think it's over with, and I'm on the edge of death, and all that type of thing, you can hear it in my raps way from the beginning of the night. You can hear my evolution. So when you go back to my cover, it was like, I ain't take a face picture, because I ain't selling your face and ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Follow me, you understand it. There's a many mansion in the sky, there's a stairway to heaven, and the two tigers represent the wilderness. So how Christ-like is that? If you're going to follow anything from God.
Man.
So it's with you in tune. If you looking at everything else well, then do your thing. There's only a chosen few, 144,000 gonna be saved. I've been reaching more than that many people through our life. And like I said, I can't say I done met that many people physically.
Yeah.
So I know that's a God blessing, all that he could do that. So as long as you're doing the right thing, you in unison with the man, the rest will prosper. You gotta like him.
Sure, I like where your mind at, man. Just before we wrap it up, because I need you to have, anything you got coming up, a second to promo that, if I think you said you got an album coming, you can go ahead and drop any shout outs and, whatever, you got coming up. What's coming up for Young Bleed?
Oh yeah, man, definitely shout out to everybody over here with me and throughout the world that's representing and helping me, helping support and push Rebirth Trap Dough Entertainment, a whole Corleone Familia, you know what I mean? And shouts out to the rest of the world. Like I said, I'll be all day if I get the name dropping, but y'all stay tuned, subscribe to my, the TV network we got on YouTube called YBTV Network. All my latest and greatest will be doing everything that's done in the past to what we're doing now, everything you might have missed. All the videos is there, interviews and so on and so forth, as well as, the label is up and running. Go to trapdoorent.com on the website and catch up with, everything. That's the same as the videos, the singles, the tour dates. I have a book on there that I put out in 2011. Shouts out to Sean Baker and, the guys over there, Strange Music, Tech Nine, and Travis O'Gwen, and David Weiner, for sure. And a free mixtape as well. So, if you're not up on there, it's called No Guidelines. Go to that trapdoorent.com. You can get that today. As well as, what am I missing? IG, the Real Young Bleed on IG. You know what I mean? And, Young Bleed, fan page on Facebook and Twitter is @Real Young Bleed. So, basically that, man. Yeah, the website, the label, the whole nine. So y'all tap in with your guy. And get ready for the new album next month, man. It's called What a Life. That's featuring Chairman Fred of the Black Panthers up there in Chicago. Freeway Rick, the real Freeway Rick. Trey D out the east side. The Sally Sale, one missing. Pastor Troy.
Oh, wow.
Skinny Pimp. Trying not to miss nobody. Let me think who else on that record. Yeah, I always miss somebody, you know what I mean? But,
yeah.
Pretty much that. And yeah, so those type of OGs, that type of thing, you know what I mean? And also, man, in about a couple of months or so, man, I'm doing an all-female project, man. It's featuring ladies like Sugar T, man, the lady of grade, Marvelous, you know what I mean? Those type of girls, Mercedes, you know what I mean? Angelo from up to Bay out here in Louisiana. So, and a whole lot of underground legend girls across the country. So I'm putting a My Boss Lady record together for all the ladies in a couple of months. So y'all stay tuned for that. But yeah, we getting busy over here. My son Taji Ramon record coming. Shouts out to my man out there in Kansas City, David Nelson, you know what I mean? My man Van Ludwig, you know what I mean? Representing the YBTV out that way. And my young cousin, I'm the younger gang, so I got project after project, man. We finna get full thought all this, so y'all stay tuned. Yada.
There it is, man. When you drop, I'm hoping you dropping on that. I'm assuming on Spotify. You gonna be on all the streaming services?
Yeah, all the websites, man. I got the digital, situation set up a couple of ways, and also I do the physical distribution, all the record stores. You can order them to your house, 310, from 1 to infinity, let me say that. So yeah, physically and digitally, yeah, man, it'll be on those platforms. You can reach out and get it how you want to get it, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, good looking. I still got 1200s, man. It's real in the field, you hear?
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. We're going to keep banging with you. I can't wait till this album drop. Especially, I already know you're going to be spitting on there. Then the names you telling me, Skinny Pimp, Pastor Troy, all these names. I'm like, oh, okay, I know this going to be some fire. But,
okay, look, let me add this to you. I know I forgot somebody in last, but definitely not the least, my Uncle Peppy Ken on that, man. So, yeah, but now with the brother, so y'all get ready for that What a Life, you hear?
I'm ready. We all ready, man. I appreciate you. You have a good one, man. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Okay, you too, man. Appreciate you, man. Much love, peace, and blessings, bro.
All right. Yep.
Yes, sir.